everyone, and welcome back to another episode of our 90 Stories for 90 Years. For those of you who are new here, 90 Stories for 90 Years is our campaign, as this is our 90th academic year of Fraternity and Sorority Life being present on DePaul's campus. So we're interviewing faculty, staff, student leaders, etc., who've played a role or had an impact on the fraternity and sorority community since it started. So my name's Mary Osborne. I'm the coordinator for Fraternity and Sorority Life here, and I will be interviewing Eryn today. Eryn, we're so excited to have you.
Yeah, I'm so excited to be here.
Awesome. Well, we'll just go ahead and get started then. Maybe just go ahead and introduce yourself, name, degrees, hometown, chapter affiliation, leadership, all of the fun things.
Sure. So I'm Eryn Fleener. I'm a senior. I study early childhood education. My chapter affiliation is Alpha Sigma Alpha. And as far as some positions that I've held, I am currently president of Order of Omega, which is the academic fraternity on campus for all FSL life. And I've held a bunch of positions in my chapter, recruitment chair, risk manager, relay for life chair, and a bunch of other things. So definitely very involved.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like it. Sounds like you've had quite the fraternity and sorority experience so far. So maybe go ahead and tell me why you decided to join a sorority in the first place and what attracted you to ASA.
Yeah. So I decided to join a sorority just because when I moved to DePaul, I'm from a small town in Michigan, Grand Ledge, and I didn't know anyone coming to the city. So I just was completely on my own, random roommate, new life kind of. And I thought being in the sorority would be a good way to get like that quick group of friends who you're with no matter what, you've got that bond of your chapter together. And so I really pushed myself out of my comfort zone. I never really thought like, oh, I'm going to be a sorority girl and all of that kind of stuff. Like I never really thought that. But once I got here and learning that it's like a very open community and like a ton of experiences, that I was really interested in being a part of it. And I'm really glad I did it. And I can't believe it's already been 3 years that I went through recruitment. That's mind blowing, but definitely just for the friendships and the experiences. And yeah.
Yeah, friendship is such a powerful and important part of the sorority experience. I think not everyone, there are a good sum of people who can probably vibe with you on I had no intention of joining a sorority, but then like I really discovered what it was all about. And that kind of led me to wanting to join and like learn more or figure out, find my place, I guess, in the fraternity and sorority community. So I think that you're amongst good company in that.
Yeah, and I definitely think ASA sisters, like we all kind of bond on that we're just there for a good time and to be friends, and none of the other stuff matters, like let's just make experiences together.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me a little bit about why you continue to stay active in the fraternity and sorority community and ASA.
Yeah. So I continue to stay active in FSL because I think there are so many awesome things that fraternities and sororities do. Fraternities and sororities raise a ton of money for tons of amazing organizations and fun like philanthropy things. And I just see so many opportunities to make it all better. And that's kind of my personality of just seeing what we have and acknowledging the greatness that it is and how can I be a part of making it even better. So I stick in ASA and I stick in Order of Omega because I just want to do the best that I can. And I want to see what I can push through with that. That's why I loved being recruitment chair for my chapter, because I got to push to get new girls and push our girls to show the best of themselves and what we really are here for. And so it also just gives you such good skills, like friendship wise and professionally. I mean, if freshman year probably would have been terrified to come on here and talk in front of who knows how many people watching, and being in like these leadership positions and stuff like pushed me out of my comfort zone to really learn how to talk in front of people and how to feel comfortable kind of being like, hey, I need you to get this done for me. You never really think you're going to learn all of those like business oriented things necessarily when you join a sorority, and you definitely do if you put hard work into it. So those are definitely the reasons I stay active.
That's awesome. Yeah, and those skills come from taking those leadership opportunities like you have, like, and really, like you said, stepping out of your comfort zone. I really loved your answer at the beginning of your answer, how you talked about just taking something that's really great and figuring out ways to make it better. I think that that's hopefully the goal and really the job of all of our fraternity and sorority leaders is to figure out how to take this thing that you've been given, and it may have been awesome when you started, or maybe there were some struggles when you started, but by the time you were finished, are you leaving in a better organization than where it started? So I kind of got a little bit of chills whenever you said that. I was like, oh, I'm a very proud advisor to hear that answer, because that was really cool. So how has your life changed since becoming a member of ASA?
Like I kind of said before, I think I've just become a lot more confident person. I'm a very outgoing person, but when I first meet you, I'm definitely very shy. And I think being an ASA and being surrounded by people who are just so different from each other, but all bonded together for one thing, you meet people that kind of fill in those gaps for you of where you maybe were wanting to build on your own personality, you know? So you learn from someone how to be maybe more outgoing, or you learn from someone like that is so kind and always putting themselves first, like maybe I can do that more often, or you know, things like that. Like you interact with so many different personalities and people, and you take little bits of each of them to like help create who you want to be, you know. And so I think I've just become much more confident and like happy to see what I'm doing and seeing the future. And definitely, like I said, talking in front of people and large groups and like organizing events. That was a big part of something I've done in ASA and for Order of Omega. And so definitely just learning like life skills and like who I want to be by watching my sisters and stuff.
Yeah, that's really wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. So what is your favorite value of your organization, and why?
ASA has 8 core values. Their nickname of all of them is called Gerbil. That's how we remember it. But my favorite one is generosity. So I think that kindness and putting other people before yourself as much as you can is something that we need more of in the world. I think especially in today's times, like you just have no idea what another person is going through and what they're experiencing and how they're handling like the changing world. And so I think just a little bit of generosity goes such a long way. And I see that in my sisters, and I see that in the FSL community all the time. And I think that's just my favorite, because I think it's an easy one to kind of forget how important it is to just like smile and be kind to each other, because it's not always at the front of your mind, but I wish it could be more. So I love that my organization has that as one of their cores.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that. I love that you shared your like memorization technique of Gerbil. I still to this day, and mine's not necessarily connected to the values, but remember Jamama is how I remember Delta Zeta's founders. And I like can't forget it. Like it's never out of my head. So I love that you will have one for remembering your values. And I really appreciate that that generosity speaks to you. And I think that even like as you go through your sorority experience, like different values like speak to you differently at different times. And I love that even in your like third year, generosity is something that still shines out in your experience. All right, we're going to switch over into chatting a little bit about Order of Omega and your presidency and all that kind of fun stuff. So tell me a little bit about what Order of Omega is, first and foremost, for anyone out there. I know you mentioned that it's like a scholastic or academic honor society within the fraternity and sorority community, but tell us what you all do in Order of Omega, your involvement, and then maybe why did you run for leadership in the chapter?
Yeah, so Order of Omega is, like I said, an academic fraternity within FSL. So any member of FSL, we have multiple councils. So we have Panhellenic, non-Panhellenic, MGC, and IFC. So all 4 councils typically tend to kind of run on their own. And Order of Omega is a really cool one because it's everyone. So it's kind of, we've been working with our new executive board to kind of name it the 5th council, kind of a place for everybody to come together, and we pull out the strong leaders and strong academic members that we have in our FSL community. And it's awesome. It's so cool to work with people from every different council, learn about how their chapters are run, learn about their like values and who they are and their events and things like that. So I've been president for about the past year, and I worked really hard to kind of keep that up and make that 5th council talking to everyone. So if chapters had events going on, we try to promote it and tell everybody so that other chapters can attend it too. So I ran for leadership in Order of Omega because of how exciting I thought it was to kind of work within all of the councils. I know I've said that now like twice, but I just think it is so cool to like get out of just even your chapter and then even get out of your council. And it's nerve-wracking because I don't necessarily know everyone's names or know everyone's full story behind their chapters, but I'm learning every day, and I really like the opportunity to work with a larger group of people. And I hope that in the future, Order of Omega can continue to grow and continue to be that big fifth council that like really brings all of them together and pushes for a ton of different things, for more academic support, more leadership, even talking about like maybe tough topics, diversity, and how we can be more inclusive, and pushing ourselves to do that, and pushing our FSL community too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that you all have done a lot of work this year on ways to make Order of Omega more equitable and more inclusive of an environment for chapters. And I really appreciated the thought that you all put into that. So know that your all's hard work hasn't gone unnoticed in even in this like kind of weird time of our virtual experience.
Yeah.
Speaking of virtual experiences, we're heading into virtual primary recruitment in January. So what is the best advice that you would give to someone going through the virtual primary recruitment process for Panhellenic?
For virtual primary recruitment, I would say that it's definitely going to be weird. And I think that we all just can, if the more that you can kind of just move past that and just try to take as much in as you can. I know it's over a screen and I know it's frustrating. You can't sit in a room or necessarily hear like all the crazy sorority chants at top volume, but as much as you can, taking in all of the information and taking in the best opportunities that you can, it's what you make of it. And the more that you put into it, the better like experience you're going to have. My advice for recruitment in general is that I think primary recruitment is a great way to figure out if you want to be in a sorority. You meet all the chapters, and you get to kind of experience each of them. So that way, worst thing that happens is you don't end up in a chapter, and that's okay. And the best thing that happens is you find a chapter and you have these people surrounding you for the next 3 years. So my thing is just kind of trust the process. Like everybody says, it's a crazy process. It's super weird, but it's awesome if you go through it and like really trust yourself and what you feel about the chapters, and just find those people you mesh with and make the most of it, even though it is so odd, especially virtual.
I 100% agree. I appreciate that you owned that it's an odd process on a normal year, and I think it'll be odd also virtually. But I'm excited to kind of see where things go, and I really appreciate you giving that advice. And yeah, really just like keeping an open mind and being patient with how things work out. And at the end of it, hopefully you will see like where you feel most comfortable, and that could be in or outside of the sorority community. And it's really up to the individual experience. So. Yeah. Well, as we're wrapping up our time, we have one closing question. So what is your favorite memory of being a member of your organization?
Definitely my favorite memory from ASA is our retreats. I always feel like it's such a perfect time to get back with my sisters. It's so easy kind of during the quarters, especially with how fast the quarters are and stuff, to maybe lose track of a couple sisters here and there. So when you go to retreat at the end, ours is usually November of the year. It's also like the end of the executive board positions and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of the end of our year each year, and getting to be kind of in the woods, away from the city for a little bit, just with your sisters, having those like bonding moments through laughter, through like emotional conversations, through talking to each other and just getting to know each other. Those are always my favorite moments. And I have so many funny and kind and safe memories that I'll definitely hold on forever, because it's just, you get to see people so naturally. And that's definitely like my favorite part, is just being at retreat and being with everybody.
Awesome. Well, Eryn, thank you again so much for being with us today. I have loved hearing you talk about your sorority experience in a more in-depth way than I do typically as an advisor. So thank you again for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Well, thank you all for watching again. We will be doing this throughout this entire academic year, so make sure you check back in as we interview some more folks from our community. But for now, we are going to head out, so we will see you later. Bye, everyone.